All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Fan Therapy TV. Back with an NFL video talking about the Micah Parsons deal. Micah Parsons is going to Green Bay to become a Packer. Kenny Clark and Sue First are going back towards the Cowboys. Honestly, pretty happy I didn't make a video. My instant reaction's a lot different to my one now. I think my instant reaction, I think, surprised. I think anybody's going to be surprised when a player like Michael Parsons just gets traded in the literal prime of his career. That still honestly surprised me, of course. But I think really when you kind of, again, how I started the last video talking about this, just look at the people that we're dealing with. Obviously, to start, obviously should have been started with this David Mulgeta. Applause, did your thing as usual, as expected. Got Micah the highest possible contract he can get, the highest non-quarterback contract to exist in the sport. 47 a year, I believe 35 of it's guaranteed each year. Just an outstanding deal for Micah. Congratulations to him. Obviously, super excited when anybody makes that kind of money. Very, very exciting times. Very exciting time for him, his family. Now pleasantries, as they say, the pleasantries are out the way. Talking about the topics, and like I said, the people at hand here is what really made me kind of level set with this situation. I honestly had in mind coming in here all excited making the video how shocked I am, but again, the more I thought about it, the more you realize who we're dealing with, and we're dealing with Jerry Jones here. And this isn't he doesn't go about the logical sense of what you're looking to do. Um, Even far past that, I think. Given the example, you look at the Zach Martin story. The Cowboys select Zach Martin. I believe he had his son in charge of that pick when Johnny Manziel was up for grabs. Jerry Jones was mad at the decision because it was straight down the line. I guess that's a good kind of story to look back on and really learn who Jerry Jones is, how he thinks about things, and kind of the effect that he has had after the 2000s on his teams. So pretty much um, Zach Martin goes on to be a Hall of Famer. Johnny Manziel goes on to be Johnny Manziel, and it really kind of can see how Jerry Jones thinks that he wants to just go for the wild. What's going to get people excited? What's going to get him excited? What's going to make him look like the genius, the wild genius, mastermind cowboy that he claims to be? That's really how he goes about things. So when you really put that lens on the situation, I think obviously, like I said before, he's going to milk out the attention as far as he can. But I think something that I did miss in this was really just the actual dislike that he grew for Micah through this situation. Like Jerry really thought that just a conversation between, I don't even know if he thought that. I think he realized that he could just hang on that and create some media buzz. Really, he just has this like not even old school, not even, it's just an ancient, just non-existent sense of how deals are done. I guess he thought he could just had a relationship with the player, that he could just throw numbers out there for a player that's not going to understand all the language, obviously, because that's not his job. And I think at the end of the day, tried to get one over, thought he pulled this genius thing off. I'm sure he probably was bragging about internally how he pulled off this deal. And then when Micah talks to his agent, who's one of the best in the business, and like I said in the beginning, like props to him again, guy, his client, all the money in the world as he does. Really, really incredible. Yeah, he just really thought that he was bigger than the system. He feels like he does apply the rule. I know he did that one thing, having the adding Nike. That is a very big deal. I say that sarcastically, having Nike while the league was Reebok. I think that's obviously a big thing. He did it pulled off. I think he's been trying to mimic that media attention ever since by just playing around with his team. But I guess it's his at the end of the day. The team is his. He can do as he pleases, which he's shown. But yeah, just the dislike grew, and I think it just reeked of unprofessionalism, reeked of non-process, for lack of a better word. it's just really bad, and it just shows that right now the direction is just whatever is in Jerry Jones's head and whatever he can pull off in that time, and whatever it's going to be, he's going to ensure that it gets his media attention, keeps him at the center of what everybody's talking about, and he really successfully did that. Micah Parsons was the top of every show for about the last month, probably. Leading up to this trade, and probably going to sustain for another week or so longer. And Jerry Jones is up at the podium talking about the trade. He's like, "Just wait, there could be more. Don't take your eyes off me yet. We could be making more trades." It's really ridiculous. Not the fact that he's making more trades, just the fact that he's really just basing this such a really great organization that he himself built is just tearing it down just because he wants to. That's what it really boils down to. I've thought of every route around thinking. Obviously, I think he just the dislike was real, and he didn't want to give Micah a big contract due to the dislike that grew. I think the agent, being a big name agent, he was trying to act like he was some nobody, not even knowing his name, but obviously he knows who David Morgetta is. Just that being the case, I think he's just a little embarrassed, trying to save face and just come out as big bad Jerry, I guess, which is ridiculous. I almost want to throw up saying that. It's just, man, like, it really just says itself. Like the last video I said just played out itself. Honestly, I thought it would end in Jerry just having to pay him, just throw him the money that he deserves. But in this case, Jerry just dug himself deeper than he had to with the situation. That's that. Micah Parsons, a Packer. Kenny Clark's a Cowboy, I guess. It's cool. Again, I think Kenny Clark's a good player. I think, again, this is probably a year or two later than you'd want. Kenny Clark, I think he's still going to provide. And again, Jerry can't help himself but throw shots, calling Micah Michael, saying the reason they got Kenny was because they need to stop the run. Like, it's just embarrassing how he just really just turned this into a personal feud, and that's almost proud. Like that's just it's like the weird kink. I don't know, man. It's just so weird dude, man. But yeah, that's all I really have. Loose thoughts just thrown together, honestly, on the situation. It's hard to really speak cohesively when you're recapping the moves of somebody like Jerry Jones, and I think that just shows that this was a mess. Honestly, thankful for Micah that he's out of that situation. I don't know. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest, but cool for him. He's paid out of the division. Good for us. Good for us, meaning the Eagles. Yeah, just going to move on with the season. Eagles are looking great coming into Thursday, I think, obviously. Yeah, during this little preview, why not? I think, obviously, the Cowboys are going to come out a little firing. I think we will win at the end of the day. Maybe even like that final score will look like we handled them. But I think they're honestly going to come out hot, and it's going to be first game of the season. Everybody's going to come out firing. The least amount of film we'll have on them all year. So yeah, so as long as we come out with a dub, that's all that matters. Doesn't really matter too much what it looks like. But yeah, excited for the start of the season. Cowboys are coming into the link without a Micah Parsons. Let's see if they make any moves before then. Oh my goodness, yeah. But that's everything from me from this one. Appreciate y'all watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all. Peace.